So I just want everybody to be aware that if you do book an axis hunt during the wintertime, just be prepared. You're going to see bucks that are growing out this big, that have just shed, that are in hardhorn, all stages of growth. Good morning, Travis Weir, Global Hunting Solutions. I want to talk to you this morning a little bit about axis deer hunting in Texas. So here in Texas, we have a variety of exotics, what we call exotic species, exotic hoofstock, whatever you want to call them, but they're non-indigenous animals here to the state of Texas. So we get a lot of requests about hunting axis deer in Texas, and I just want to talk a little bit about it, clear up some of the misconceptions about hunting axis deer and what really to expect and when's the best time to come. And so these deer are originally from India. We imported them in the late 50s, mid 50s, and they're doing great. They're a multi-use species, meaning they're very hardy. They can live off grass, they can live off forbs, they can live off woody plants, and they do well. So I've hunted these axis deer anywhere from West Texas to North Texas, South Texas, hill country, everywhere in between. I've done it for 30 years. And so we get a lot of requests for these axis deer. And one of my clients called me once and said, "Hey, let's go axis deer hunting." I said, "Okay, fine, let's do that." I said, "What are you looking for?" He said, "Well, I'd like to shoot a 40-inch axis deer." I said, "Well, I've been doing this for a minute and I've never shot a 40-inch axis deer." I said, I can find one on this particular ranch. The ranch was 35,000 acres and had some really tremendous genetics. I haven't hunted the ranch a lot at that time. Maybe I've been hunting it maybe about a year. So I've seen a good bit of the axis on the ranch, but not all of them, of course. And so we arrived late that afternoon and had to dinner with the chef. Had a great lodge right on the river. Saw some axis and some scimitar and some black buck down by the river. Set out, told tall tales, and had a great night. Got up the next morning. We hunted for a while and came across a really nice buck. And he was wide, had great caudal tines, great brow tines. And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think he's not 40 inches, like what you want, but he's a tremendous deer. He got good mass, good width. He's an old deer, but let's pass on him. Let's go on." And he said, "Are you sure he's not 40 inches?" And I said, "I don't think he's 40. I said, "I think he's close, but he's not 40. He said, "Okay." So we took off and kept hunting. We saw a lot of tremendous axis deer that day. Beautiful country, a lot of good exotics. Saw a lot in the 37, 36-inch range. It's just not what he was looking for. So we had a great day. Came back to the lodge, had dinner with the chef, and set out and had a cool evening. And got up the next morning. We went hunting, and we hunted all day and had a great time. But we just didn't see a 40-inch deer. We saw a lot of 36s, a lot of 37s, but no 40s. And so I think we maybe were hunting some other stuff that day. I don't quite remember. But anyway, the third day we went out and we hunted most of the day. And that evening we came across the deer we saw on the first day. And he said, "Is that the deer we saw the first day?" And I said, "Yes, that's him." He said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think exactly what I said on the first day. He's not 40 inches, but he's close." He said, "What do you think he is?" I said, "Well, I think he's between 39 and 40. I said, "I don't think he's over 40, but he's close." So he said, "Well, what do you think we should do?" And I said, "Well, that's up to you." I said, "The deer's got everything. Caught up on him being 40 inches. I'm not going to guarantee that, but he's a beautiful deer." He said, "I think I'm going to shoot him." And I said, "Okay." So he elected to shoot the deer, and we walked up on the deer and finally found him. And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think he's exactly what we thought he was, between 39 and 40. He said, "Let's measure him." I said, "All right." So we got out the tape, measured the one side, and I think it was 39 and 4/8. And I said, "He's a great deer." I said, "He's just not quite 40, but he's tremendous." And so I measured the other side, and it was 40 and 3/8. So I had to eat crow on that one. But, at the end of the day, we were both right. He obviously felt like the deer was over 40, and because he went back to the deer and wanted to hunt that deer. So after we talked about the deer and measured him and everything, the client was obviously very pleased. The deer was so big. But that brings me to the point is, a lot of hunters come in and they say, "Well, I want to shoot a 40-inch axis deer." And, that may be the only opportunity that I've ever hunted with this hunter. And the odds of shooting one is very low. They're few and far between that are truly 40 inches. But they do exist. And, it's possible to find one. And the other thing I wanted to comment on is a lot of people are in Texas from October to the end of February. That's typically our whitetail deer season, so it draws a lot of hunters into the state. And so also it draws a lot of customers in on our helicopter hunts as well, because it's cooler, the weather's usually pretty nice, and they want to escape some of the snow stuff up in the north, and so they come hunting with us during the winter because it's literally 70 degrees most of the time here. So they want to add on an axis deer while they're here. The problem with axis deer is they only have horns part of the year because they shed their antlers like whitetail deer. So these deer, they grow their antlers based on when they were born. So in my experience in Texas, the majority of our deer, I would say 97 to 98% of our deer are in hard horn or in hard antler, April, May, June, July, August, September. So there's going to be a very few of these deer are going to be in hard antler during the winter time. There are some, and we do shoot a lot during the winter. It's just more difficult. So I just want everybody to be aware that if you do book an axis hunt during the winter time, just be prepared. You're going to see bucks that are growing out this big, that have just shed, that are in hard horn, all stages of growth. But you're not going to see the bulk of the deer in hard horn ready to shoot until at least late April. I prefer May because 97, 98% of the deer you see in May are going to be in hard horn. There'll still be a few that are in velvet, but not many. At least you get to see a lot of deer and a lot of choices. So in the wintertime, October, November, December, February, March, you just got to be a little less selective because you're just not going to have the opportunity to see 20 shootable bucks a day. If you see 20 shootable bucks in May, that doesn't surprise me. But if you go out in a day in February and you see 20 bucks all day, 18 of them are going to be this big or this big. And so you just don't have a lot of choices that time of year. With that said, it's still a good hunt and you get to see a lot of deer. You just have to be very patient. And I've heard hunters make comments of, we're just not seeing the deer in the hard horn. And, that's just because that's the nature of the axis deer. They're not hard horn during our winter months. They're hard horn during our summer months. So, you have to book another trip if you want to see the majority of the deer in hard horn. So I would suggest May, June, July, August. That's the best. Unfortunately, that's our hottest months. But, most of the time during the morning, it's nice. You can get up early and go out and hunt till about 10 a.m., come back, have some brunch, and then do some other things during the afternoon. You can, do some fishing, you can go swimming, sporting clays, shoot the ranges, whatever you want to do, and then hunt, late evening, because it doesn't get dark until around 9:15 p.m., 9:15. So it's a long day, but, it's a lot of fun. So I would urge everyone to focus on the summer months if you're gonna hunt these axis deer. The meat is phenomenal as far as table fur is concerned. No drugs, no hormones are in these deer. They have very little intermuscular fats. It's very healthy, very tender, not gamey at all. And then, you can always add on another exotic if you like. The black buck antelope, a lot of fun to hunt. They're horned animals. They have horns 365, so you can hunt them any time of the year. The scimitar horned oryx, same way. The gemsbok, any of that stuff that's horned, you can hunt that stuff year round. Our elk, our saca deer, our axis deer, things like that, things that have antlers, they're primarily going to be hard horn during the winter months, aside from the axis deer. Our elk, our stag, Barasinga, Ailes deer, all that stuff. That's winter stuff. But we've had a blast over the years hunting axis deer. We've seen these axis populations explode. We do a lot of helicopter hunts, and so we see a lot of animals from the air, and a lot of these bucks are just, they hang around water. They like to hang around the rivers and stuff like that. When we're chasing pigs out of the helicopters, we see a lot of these axis deer just, loafing on the river, and there's big herds of them. But I think they're probably, no, not probably, they are the hardest animal in Texas to hunt, no doubt about it. They're super smart. They can seal well, and a lot of guys actually hunt them out of blinds. I don't prefer to do that. I pretty much spot and stalk everything because I don't like to hunt out of deer blinds. I don't like to sit in a blind. So I like to get out there on foot, spot and stalk, chase them. whatever. But yeah, tremendous amount of fun. You guys will love it. So if you're ever thinking about booking an access deer hunt here in Texas, look us up and we can put you on the right ranch, depending on what your needs are. It's a good family deal as well. We have some ranches that are more tiered, like a resort type environment. They have very nice facilities for your wife, your children, and a lot of different activities like horseback riding, jet skis, fishing, lots of things to do other than just hunt. The hunting is just such a small part of the whole trip. If you book a just deer hunt, I suggest a minimum of booking 2 nights and 3 days. And so if you can hunt, if you get here early enough, you can hunt the afternoon on arrival. You can hunt the next full day and then spend the night and then hunt the morning of your departure. That would be minimum for me. I like to see 3 nights when we're hunting axis deer, just because I like to go through them and I like to go through and I like to look at a lot of them and find the very best axis deer that we can find for our client. And with that said, we've got very good chefs. The food is spectacular. The staff is spectacular. And you can always combine it with a helicopter hunt as well. You can come in one day, we can go the short range, we can shoot ARs, we can familiarize ourselves with the AR platform and have dinner with the chef, go out the next morning. We can do a helicopter hunt for 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever you guys want to do. Then we can come back and we can hunt axis deer in the evening, spend another night, hunt axis deer the next day. We can hunt during the morning and do another helicopter hunt the next day if you want to. And out of the helicopters, we concentrate on the wild boar and the coyotes. And that's all we try to do out of the helicopter, is try to help these ranchers reduce the populations. And so you can always do that as a combo hunt. You can combo it with another type of exotic. You can combo it with a vineyard tour. If you wanted to take the family on a vineyard tour, we have a lot of vineyards here in Texas these days, and typically these axis deer live where most of these vineyards are located, so it wouldn't be out of your way. A lot of times we can do these axis hunts out of a vineyard lodge. If you want to stay at the vineyard, we can pick you up. We can go do an axis hunt nearby, and then you can still have a good time at the vineyard. The accommodations are outstanding at some of these vineyards, and it's a lot of fun. You can also do vineyard helicopter tours. You can fly from vineyard to vineyard via helicopter. You can do it via limousine. You can do it by bus, however you wish. But there's a lot of things that we can add on here in Texas. We're also known for some of our tremendous bass fishing. One of our local lakes here is very famous for bass fishing as well, if you're into that. So there's a lot of things we can do other than just the axis deer hunting. So if you're interested in that, just give us a ring, or if you want to discuss axis deer hunting further, you can call me direct, or you can shoot me a text. You can message me on Facebook or any of the other platforms. We appreciate everyone supporting our YouTube channel. This is a new endeavor for me. I've had a really good time with it. So what I'm trying to do is combine a little bit of my hunting career and hunting knowledge along with my aviation stuff. So I fly helicopters, I fly airplanes. I'm pretty big into aviation, still do quite a few. I still fly the helicopter quite a bit. And so I'm trying to put this channel together to convey kind of my life, my experiences over the last 30 years hunting all over the world. And I'm going to do some specialty podcasts on some of the regions that I've hunted over the years, and got some pretty cool stories about hunting some pretty wild places. And so the objective of Global Hunting Solutions is to help you guys facilitate all your trips. All the stuff that I did wrong, I'm going to try to help you guys do it right. And so I'm going to use all my experiences in the past to make you guys have a better trip. So when you book a hunt with us, we facilitate everything from the initial booking to we tell you which flights to book. We have somebody at the airport, wherever you're arriving, to meet you there, take you to dinner, whatever you want to do. So you're never alone. Once you get on the airplane, you're not alone. When you land wherever you are, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Spain, Africa, Pakistan, wherever you're hunting, we have someone there. When you land and you get off the plane, you will not be alone. We will have somebody waiting for you to pick up your bags and firearms if you're taking firearms. And this guy will be with you throughout your hunt. And so don't feel like you're ever going to be stuck in an airport waiting on one of our staff members, or if he's going to show up or not. We will be there to take care of you. vice versa, when you're ready to leave, we'll take you to the airport. We'll make sure one of our facilitators is with you, walks you to the gate, get you on the airplane. We can't go past security, but we can get to the gate where the local authorities are. Most of the time, in a lot of these countries, it's really close to the gate. Some of the bigger airports, you do have to do a little bit on your own, but it's not a big deal at all. So any of that stuff that you need help with, whether it's fishing trips, hunting trips, whatever, we can definitely help you. I'm a big fly fisherman as well, and so I do a lot of saltwater fly fishing. I do a lot of freshwater fly fishing as well as hunting. So anything you need help on the saltwater side of fishing, I can surely help you with that, along with all of your hunting needs. There's just not a lot of hunts that I haven't done, so I can surely hook you up with someone that will take care of you. If we don't do it, I probably know someone that does. We do most of the hunts ourselves or with our partners, and so we can team you up with a good guy. So that's really it about the axis deer. I just wanted to comment a little bit about the axis deer and when the best time it is to actually hunt them. A lot of guys get here and they're very surprised on, why can't we hunt them during the winter? We can, it's just not going to see as many in hardhorn. So I just want everybody to know that up front. I'm a very upfront kind of guy, and we don't sugarcoat anything in our business. We tell you exactly how it is. And like I say, we'll take care of you from the moment you get here to the moment you leave. The axis deer, you can always, if you wanted to trophy hunt for the axis, you can always take one of the trophies, and then you can always turn around and maybe hunt some of the other ones that maybe have inferior genetics. And so some of the axis deer will have not good genetics, and we want to get rid of those in the herd. So we can take home some extra meat as well, because like I say, the meat is tremendous. So if you're an axis deer hunter, exotic hunt, or helicopter hunt here in Texas, look us up. Support our channel. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us. The channel has become a huge success, and we can only thank you guys for that, because you're the guys that are watching the videos and making it happen. But support us, and we'll support you. We'll help you throughout your hunts, and if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call me. I'll pick up the phone personally, and I'll talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. So thank you again. Again, Travis Weir, Global Hunting Solutions. You guys have a good afternoon, and we'll be back shortly with some more videos. Thank you again.